photograph on the Airbnb steps. Some people said it was Jay, some people said it was a made-up photograph and it wasn't Jay. I want to focus on number one. Why did he take a photograph of his feet in the steps? I take many kind of strange photographs of my feet. It's normally wanting to show I'm somewhere. So I take a photograph of the sea, but I also show my feet, saying, look, I'm having a really nice time at the beach. Look at me, I'm here. And it's not just taken off the internet or something like that, something menial. So I figure he wanted to show something. Now, personally, with all those lovely surrounds around where he was at the back of the Airbnb, I think it was a back entrance, or was it the front? I don't know whether there's one entrance or two entrances. Anyway, I'd take a picture of the scenery, wouldn't you? Hello there, and how are you doing? I hope you're in a good mood. So, speaking generally about crime and organisations of crime and how they operate, in some countries, in many countries, now we have a certain element in this country. Do excuse me, my dog. That's the perils of working from home. So, do we really want to change things and rock the boat and fight wars? Because it's about fighting wars, isn't it? So if you look at countries like Sicily, so the home of the mafia, it operated in a very different way than it does, but it still has factions now, or different organizations that run different sections. We've got Mexico with the Mexican cartel. We've got certain South American countries, small islands. We've got Russia. If we look at Ukraine, very few people knew that before this so-called war, Ukraine was operating in a different way, a different manner, that British politicians and the way they run their governments, it would have sounded corrupt. But to them, it's kind of normal, really. So what I'm saying is, if I reflect on the Jay Slater case, and it was suspicious, as we know. Now, we're not going to really know until we delve in. We've delved into certain things. Sorry about that. The dog dropping the bone. Say that Morocco or a certain person or people, maybe it's an old-fashioned term, mafia, but organisations, let's call it organisations, have their capos. Maybe we shouldn't say capos because it's connected with the mafia. Lieutenants, that's connected with the mafia as well, isn't it? So shall we say managers? So we treat it like a business. So we're saying shall we say the drugs trade, first of all, operates like a business. And you go down the line and you get different managers that run different sections, different parts of the business, different parts of the island. We've also got things, mini scams going on like property businesses. And if we look into tax evasion, taxes operate in a different manner, a different way. There are backhanders flying around, and it's all kind of semi-legal. And they probably all have to answer to head office. So what I'm saying is, if somebody crosses that, and rather than fire the person, it's within their policy to perhaps punish the person, send them away somewhere so they won't come back to the island again, or are we saying they pay with their life? So, for want of a better word, eliminate the person. If that operates as such and been operating like that for years and years and years, do Interpol want a kind of war with that country? Maybe not. So if somebody's missing and it's suspicious and it involves criminal records, ex-drug dealing criminal records, property dealing criminal records, dishonesty, we can just tar it all with the legit brush and leave it as that. Or the authorities can decide to fight a war. Anyway, let's roll back to the Jay Slater case. There are many, many suspicious elements, and we've also got the added element of the fingerprint problem, the forensic scientists, and we've got to get a second opinion on that type of thing, whether the fingerprints deteriorate in warm countries after 4 days, whether you can inject the fingers and the skin with a certain ink that will show a fingerprint. This was quashed down because I believe the actual skin has to be mummified or embalmed in order to squeeze in that type of ink. I don't know. We could look into that one. One of the many things was, even if you're 19 and you want to show your friends something, you kind of look at this scenery. I'm here, or you'd want to show them something, wouldn't you? Which brings me to point two. So, point two, if he didn't want to show just a step and the blanket, why would he just show a step and his feet? There was a cigarette in the picture. I'm figuring he's 19, so he's not going to be boasting about smoking. Maybe if he was 13, 14, he would. So he'd take a picture of the cigarette and say, I'm smoking. So I originally thought he was wearing a ring. Now, was he wearing a ring? I don't know. I think it was a lighter. If you have a look in the pic, it's a lighter, isn't it? No ring. But if there is a ring, anyone can shed a light on what the ring means and why you take a picture of it. That would make sense. The lighter, I can't make a sense of why you take a picture of a lighter. And that blanket was pointed out before. Is there anything in that? So that was the same blanket in photographs that was in Jay's and Lucy's, or Jay stroke Lucy's apartment or hotel. And it wasn't in the Airbnb, the room that was photographed. Now, obviously, with investigation, this would have been delved into, and we could have asked the owner whether she'd had the blanket in there beforehand or such a blanket. These are all things that are kind of found out within an investigation, a bit like a Columbo style of investigation, isn't it, really? It really stands out. But speaking of the Airbnb owner, we'd also have to look at all their records. We'd have to look at who was connected to the mayor, and I gather it was a relation of the mayor that saw Jay apparently walking up the hill. Now, this is fine, but surely if you're asking somebody and it's involving criminal records, surely you would have to decide whether this was a credible interview or a credible statement, because the police did interview, even if they didn't, well, they must have taken a certain statement of where the missing person was seen, and this person saw him. So this person are they credible? Because the police just let Ahab and his unknown friend Rocky, and we know that Rocky is a term, or can be a term, for a Moroccan who are said to be in charge of certain scam networks, drug networks. Anyway, I'm digressing to something else. I just wanted to focus on the photograph, because these videos can be really, really, really long. I'd rather split them up, as I do, split them up into sections, because it's easier to watch, isn't it? Otherwise, you're watching me for hours and hours and hours, and that would bore myself to tears, let alone you guys. I'm not going in on the pretense that it was somebody else and he was being propped up and he passed away and somebody was propping him up or something and the feet didn't match the size of his feet. I could do, but I won't. But I'm just going in for why. I've always enjoyed true crime, and I've been a member of YouTube for years and years and years. Well, dipped in and out, but when I get the time, I do enjoy it, and I do enjoy the intrigue of true crime. I also enjoy other subjects. Now I have other channels. I have set up another channel, the Fight Game Boxing Reviews, I also am interested in triathlon, so I'm going to set up my other videos as well. I also do reviews, product reviews, but I'm not sure it's appropriate to mix the true crime with product reviews, so I may have other channels and I may get one up for those and also other bits and pieces as well. If someone could tell me as well, they will only let you have or verify 2 channels on YouTube with your mobile phone number. So I've got, it's not only 2 subjects I'm interested in. So if you do enjoy watching, please like, subscribe, and also hit that bell on there somewhere underneath, and you get all the updated videos. You get a notification straight away. So although I babble on a bit, sometimes I can make certain sense of things, and sometimes I'm quite, do I have a sort of a soothing voice sometimes, like a Barry White style of voice or something? I do like comedy. True crime doesn't really merit a lot of comedy, but maybe I'll also have a separate channel for comedy as well. Okay. Thank you for watching, and really, really please, whatever you're doing out there, please, everything has pretty much got a risk. Please take care. Thank you. Thank you for watching.